Hello everybody, now today is the day. First of all, I haven't uploaded for a long time and it's whatever. Now I got some Black Ops 3 in the background. I know I'm pretty terrible at it and I'm using bots, but who cares. But I'm gonna be changing my channel a little bit because it's gonna have to be commentary because I have to do voiceovers, but sometime I'll be able to just do normal videos without voiceovers. But today I'm going to do a video story on how I broke my arm last year. Okay, it was it was a pretty painful experience, but it happened last year and it was at school and all that. So it was during lunch. I just was playing with some of my random friends. Now, I gotta admit, I'm one of those kids that constantly have to be doing something stupid or something to entertain myself. Also, I do dangerous stuff a lot. Now, this was kind of a dumb idea, but I was at lunch and I was on the whole other side of the school, and I was on the soccer pitch, and then there was a soccer goalie thing, and I was hanging off of it with both my arms, and I just was hanging off of it and doing my normal stuff, and then this random guy that I was chilling with, I don't know him that well, but he came to me, and then he for some reason he just said, "Oh, you're Batman," and then he started tickling me, and I fell down on my arm straight, and I broke it instantly. I didn't know what was happening. I thought I sprained it or something, but no shit, I broke my arm. So I dislocated my elbow really badly. I broke both the bones, and it was fucking painful. So straight away, I started screaming because I couldn't feel anything. But then I looked down at my arm. One thing that scared me why I started screaming was because I heard a loud crack, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And I couldn't feel any pain, and then I looked down at my arm, and I see how fucking twisted and broken it fucking is. It looks like a fucking Z, almost. It's like a fucking V, but like a V, but in the middle of your arm, and it's so fucking painful, and it honestly sucked. Screaming at the top of my lungs, and then everybody on the side playing soccer just looked at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? Now, I was on the very back of the oval, and then I started feeling so much pain I've never experienced in my life. And then I was screaming, and then the guy who tickled me, so I broke my arm, looked at my arm, and then he screamed, and like a blood curdling through him. He was like, what the fuck is that? But he didn't swear or anything. He just was like, holy shit, basically. And that's what his scream basically said, holy shit. And so I was on the other side of the oval, and I had to get to the office, and the office was on the whole other side. So I knew instantly, fuck, this is gonna be a very, very painful day, and this is gonna take a long time. And honestly, yeah, it did. It took 5 hours, but actually kind of true. But so I got to the cricket pitch, whatever. I was at the cricket pitch, and I fell down at the cricket pitch. And then I was like, guys, like, ow, and then I just was like, guys, what the hell is going on? And then they were like, oh, we'll go get the teacher. And it took them like 15 minutes. It took them a couple minutes. But then once the teacher was coming back, something that annoyed me was the teacher, they said to the teacher, oh, this kid's like probably broken his arm. And then I see the teacher just walking, taking a stroll, and I get like, yeah, she's gotta be calm about it. But that kind of like you to put a kid through that much pain. But honestly, I don't care. But once the teacher came to me, I showed her my arm and she's like, oh yeah, that's broken. And I was like, can you help me get to the office? And she was like, no, I have to stay on duty. And I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, but there's a second teacher on the Oval. Why can't you? And then I just ended up having to walk all the way to the office. It was painful. I couldn't breathe. It was painful. And I was feeling so much pain. And I was exhausted. It was so much pain in total. I was honestly angry. I just couldn't handle this much pain. But while this is happening with my arm broken, still not crying over here. Because I have a problem. It's run in my family and my brothers. But when we get really hurt, we don't cry for some reason, unless it's something that's something where we're like crying in agony because it's like, oh, we have to wait a long time or something. It's not really pain that often. To this day, I'm still proud of not crying from the pain. But, little hint, I do end up crying, but not from the pain. But being the want to be comedian guy I am, so when I went through the front office, even though I was in so much pain, I just ran in, flipped my arm on the desk, and then I yell, look at this! And they're like, oh yeah, we need to call your parents. And then comedian guy, stop. I'm like, yeah, thank you, please. And they didn't have a cast or anything, or any of those things, but they did have like a sling thing, but it wasn't my size. It was a big ass cardboard sling thingy. And I had to wear it because I was in pain and I couldn't look at that thing. And it took like 10 minutes and then my mom came. She arrived. And then we had to go all the way to the hospital. And then I start freaking out because I'm like, I'm in so much pain. And then as I'm walking into the like area and all that, after the waiting area, the people see that I'm about to faint, so they put me in a wheelchair and they roll me around till I get to the bay where I wait, and they have a whatever thing, and there was a TV. I was watching that, but it was some kid-friendly shit, so I couldn't watch it because kid-friendly makes me have cancer, so yeah. Now, bada bing, bada boom. This is the point where I cry, because I was like, because I was in so much pain, but one thing was, since I got to the hospital till I ended up having surgery, was 5 hours. I was in that bay for 5 hours with that pain, no painkillers, just waiting there. And then I ended up going to surgery. They rolled me in. I went through an elevator while in a bed, best thing in the world, obviously. But then my comedic thing started again as they were about to roll me into the surgery room to give me the and go to sleep. I'm talking all weird and all that, and like I'm drunk, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a cup, my thank you, and I'm gonna be sleeping for every percent of my life, thank you, and all that. But if you need a translator to find out what I said, whatever. But then I ended up going, and they were surprised for how long I lasted with the thing that's anti whatever the fuck is to make me go to sleep. Now I ended up It took me 20 seconds. Doesn't seem like long, but it was on max for 20 seconds. They were all surprised that I lost that long because usually they say that people lost around 7 to 10 seconds, but now I lasted double. And yeah, so the pain still there, and then I just go to sleep and all that. Honestly, yeah. So my mum nearly fainted while I was about going into surgery because as they were putting me to sleep, they were moving my V-shaped in the middle, like we can turn it into a V and all that, but I mean as in the middle, like in the middle between your wrist and your elbow, just a giant V. Really messed up, but it is so bad that one other creepy thing that's coming from life is that I broke it and dislocated it so bad that the part that was broke, well, it was all broken, but the dislocation caused from the wrist to the elbow, that part of the arm to start overlapping the other parts of my arm, and that creeped me out, and my mom ended up fainting because the doctors were moving it onto a surgery thingy as I was going to sleep, like a table thingy, and that caused my mom to nearly faint. But I woke up about 50 minutes later, or hour or so, and next thing I know, I look and I just wake up and my mom's talking to a doctor, Goose doctor, whatever. And I was happy that the doctors helped me and all that. I'm very glad of that, and I was very grateful for them fixing it and all that. And so I woke up, I looked at my arm and there's a cast there, obviously. I have a cast on my arm. I still feel the pain. Like, I wake up and my eyes are slowly opening, and then my mom looks at me and she's like, oh, he's awake. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. Not really, but then I'm like, because I'm still in like the half asleep mode and all that, and my comedic side came back, and I'm like, they put me on that cocaine so much that I was in the clouds. Like, you see the space station up here, the space shuttle in the space up here, but I was all the way up here. I was like in Mars, like all the way up Mars and all that. And I was still feeling the pain from the broken arm. I was still feeling it. And then like 2 hours later, it was around 5 p.m. And then my dad and my big brother came and they saw me in the hospital. And I was in pain, and for the first time in like 4 years, I saw my big brother cry because he didn't want to see me in pain, and he wishes that he could have helped me, but there was no way. But yeah, he was sad that I was in pain, but he waited till I fell to sleep, and I only ended up getting about half an hour sleep out of that whole day because I was so tired and there was too much pain. Painkillers did barely anything, and like 4 times during the night I took painkillers. Nothing helped it. And I just was in so much pain, bro. But I ended up getting out of a place, ended up getting out of a hospital 2 days later because they're like, oh, you're ready to go back home. But real quick, the food they serve you, marvelous. Like, oh my god, like the best. Like, they give you a pretty good amount of food, but it tastes so good, goddamn well. Just real quick, hospitals, awesome, especially their food there. that you get. It's so good. But then about when I got home 2 days later and all that, I still couldn't get any sleep. I was so tired. I ended up sleeping in the day for like the first time in my life, and I only got an hour sleep. It was so hard to sleep with a broken arm and all that, but I found ways around it. And 2 weeks later, I ended up coming back to school. And yeah, some people thought I was lying. Some people got it really messed up and thought there were some people that were bullying me about it and saying like, oh no, you're on top of the goalie and you deserve to break your arm, and even now you probably deserved it and still do, and I hope you break your arm again. And nasty shit like that. And that pisses me off because I've been bullied all my life, but more on that later in a different video. But thus, breaking your arm, so much fucking pain. I broke my arm so bad. If I ever break it again or fracture it, I'm probably getting a big ass plate in it, in a metal bar. And see y'all in the next video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and if we can get 5 likes, I'll collab with someone. If I get 5 likes, make sure to subscribe. But if I get 5 likes, I will put one of you guys in one of my videos saying that and saying how cool you are, all your fans.